Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video, and today I got another video for you guys, and of course, we are discussing the Jamal Murray injury, which, if you guys do not know, recently, Jamal Murray, he tore his ACL in a game against the Golden State Warriors, and because of that, he is out for the rest of the season. And in today's video, I kind of wanted to talk about the Denver Nuggets, how this Jamal Murray injury affects the Denver Nuggets, how good they are, and, all this stuff about, how it's going to really affect the Denver Nuggets. And as you guys can tell from the title, I'm a Denver Nuggets fan, so I'm really sad that Jamal Murray is done for the year. But of course, you guys know what to do. Like the video if you enjoyed, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new and enjoy the content on here, so you do not miss out on any new videos. Plus, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not sure what our special is going to be once we reach 1K. But yeah, it would really mean a lot to me if we could reach the 1,000 subscribers. But of course, with that being said, let's just get straight into today's video. So I'm pretty sure you guys really want to see me talk about this injury and, all the stuff surrounding it. Also, I do want to say that this video is unscripted, so if I can't find my words, that is why. But of course, let's just get straight into today's video. So, the first thing I want to talk about is, a little bit about how good the Nuggets were without Jamal Murray. So, funny thing is, this week I actually planned a Denver Nuggets video, and I planned on talking about how good the Nuggets were, before this injury went down. But of course, the video unfortunately got delayed a lot because I was busy this week, and yeah, I could not get this video out in time because, of course, the injury. But yeah, before Jamal Murray's injury, the Nuggets, they were kind of rocky to start out the season, and obviously there were glaring issues, on the team. So the Nuggets went out on the, at the trade deadline and acquired Aaron Gordon from the Orlando Magic. Along with that, they did acquire JaVale McGee from the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Denver, after these two trades were, sorry about that, Denver, after these two trades, they were really good. They were amazing. I believe they're like 7-2 technically with these two, of course. I mean, they were really good. They won 7 of their next 9 games, with Aaron Gordon and JaVale McGee, I believe. I mean, they were just flat out amazing with these two. And there were actual thoughts that this team, we could make the finals. I mean, there were people who thought we could make the finals. And I mean, you can call me a biased Nuggets fan if you want to, but honestly, I can't completely blame them. The Denver Nuggets we were just really good, before, after this trade. And I mean, there was actually a legit shot that we could have made the NBA Finals. But of course, those hopes right now are we kind of have to hold them for a little bit because Jamal Murray, well, he got injured. So the Nuggets were really good without Jamal Murray, and this is a massive blow to Denver. And so going over what they lose in, with Jamal Murray is, well, they lose a lot, all right? I mean, first off, the guy offensively, he is really good. Next to Nikola, he is the second option, to Nikola. Well, he plays second field to Nikola Jokic. He's the second scoring option and is definitely our second best player. So, of course, we lose our second best player. I mean, the guy is a really good scorer, so we lose scoring, too. We lose scoring, we lose shooting. He is a really good shooter. We also lose playmaking. I mean, the guy isn't fantastic as a playmaker, but he's still a pretty good one. Not only that, but we also lose perimeter defenses. Jamal Murray improved a lot this year as a defender, and I mean, the guy, he was really good as a defensive player, so of course that sucks that we lost, a really good defensive player. Not only that, but we kind of lost the heart and soul of our team, as Jamal Murray, to be honest, is kind of like the heart and soul of Denver, and so yeah, that we lost a lot in Jamal Murray. So this is clearly a really big injury that's gonna be affecting the Nuggets and their title hopes. And as for how good they will be, what they'll do without Jamal Murray and, possible playoff matchups, and, kind of how good we will be to finish out the regular season. I mean, I don't know if we can really rise in the standings we can really rise higher than the 4th seed in the standings with Jamal Murray's injury, because, I mean, of course, we lost a lot in the Western Conference. It is an extremely loaded conference, okay? You got the Clippers, the Lakers, the Jazz, the Suns. I mean, of course, you got the Nuggets too. You got the Trailblazers, you got the Spurs, you got the Mavericks. The Warriors are also in the playoff mix, you know, the Grizzlies too. I mean, it's a really loaded conference, you know. It's extremely good, so it's going to be extremely hard to rise in the standings without our second best player. And as for, you know, potential playoff matches, I mean, I'm not totally sure where we're going to finish, but I'd expect it to finish between the 4 and the 6 seed. And, you know, as for who I would like to face, you know, what the most favorable matchups are, you know, and also realistically, if we do fall low enough, we could face a team like the Phoenix Suns or the Los Angeles Clippers. And, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I would love those matchups. The Clippers are a great team, but the Clippers I'd probably be a little bit more comfortable with, because we have beat the Los Angeles Clippers before, so there is a possibility. I mean, then again, that was with Jamal Murray, so there is a possibility that we could maybe beat the Los Angeles Clippers, especially if Paul George was to play absolutely terrible, like you know, he has an issue with doing that in the playoffs. So if Paul George was to play terribly in the playoffs, then maybe there's a chance we could beat the Los Angeles Clippers. Phoenix Suns, I'm pretty doubtful about that one, because, well, the Phoenix Suns are a great team, and, I mean, they have an amazing backcourt, and with the fact that we did have to give up Gary Harris in that Aaron Gordon trade, and we lost perimeter defense with Jamal Murray, I mean, I'm not sure how well we could defend that backcourt. I mean, Will Barton, he's pretty decent, but I don't really trust him to, you know, shut down Devin Booker or Chris Paul. And then again, that's not a complete knock, as both of them are fantastic players. So, yeah. Anyways, as for a team I really do want to avoid is the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? I do not want to face the Lakers. That would absolutely suck if we had to play them, because obviously they are the defending NBA champs, and you do not want to go up against the defending NBA champions. I mean, right, of course they've had health issues and all, but assuming they're all healthy for the playoffs, that series is going to be extremely tough, especially without Jamal, okay? It is going to be extremely hard to get out of the first round if we do have to face the Lakers. So, I mean, being realistic, I'd be alright if we had the 4 seed, and if we can play a team like the Trailblazers, I wouldn't be too mad about that either, because I do believe we could possibly beat the Portland Trailblazers. Now, as for, you know, how good the Nuggets are without Jamal Murray, personally, I'd probably have to say, like, a second round exit. Well, yeah, second round exit at best, in my opinion. And I think Nikola Jokic is still good enough to make this team a playoff level team and still a pretty good team, but I'm just not sure if we can make it past the second round, especially in the Western Conference, without Jamal Murray. But I guess speaking up about, you know, I mean, you know, who really needs to step up their game if we want to, you know, still make a deep playoff run without Jamal. I mean, frankly, the entire team does need to step up, but I'm going to highlight a few guys who I do think needs to step up, you know, in Jamal Murray's absence. Now, personally, I think our starting lineup will be something like Monte Morris, Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic probably. And I'd also like to see us sign a guard on the buyout market, like someone like, I don't know, maybe Isaiah Thomas is a possible, or someone like Austin Rivers would be pretty good. I really want to get Austin Rivers through the buyout market. I mean, I know he's not anything special, but he should be a pretty good backup guard. So yeah, I'd like to see us get Austin Rivers. But as for who really needs to step up, Monte Morris, I love Monte Morris, but he is really going to need to step up in Jamal Murray's absence, since I do believe he is going to probably be inserted into the starting point guard slot. So he is going to have to, you know, provide at least, you know, he's going to have to be really good. I mean, he has to be a pretty good scoring wise. I want to see him shoot the ball well, and he has to be a pretty good offensive guard in general. Defensively, he is not exactly that good. So, I mean, if he can just don't be god-awful, and please try on that end. That's all I ask for Monte Morris. Do not be god-awful, and just be I guess just be average on that. Well, just don't be god-awful. That's really all I want him to do defensively, okay? So he's really going to need to step up in Jamal Murray's absence and kind of be a secondary or, third, scorer. But speaking of the secondary scorer, I guess the second and probably the final player I do kind of want to really go over is going to have to be Michael Porter Jr. Probably the guy you guys really did think of. Michael Porter Jr., in my opinion, with this injury, Michael Porter Jr., in my opinion, has to have an increased role, and he's really going to need to step up, because Michael Porter Jr. has been really good this season, but he's gonna get the chance to now be a secondary scoring option, and Michael Malone is gonna need to implement him into the system really well, okay? Michael Porter Jr., he is a fantastic shooter and scorer, and he had a rough 2-game stretch in the Warriors and the Celtics loss, but he is gonna have to play really well, if the Nuggets do want to make a deep playoff run. The guy has improved defensively, so that's already pretty good, but I want to see the guy average a north of 18 points per game. I really want this guy, he needs to average at least 18 points, an efficient 18 points per game, if we want to make a deep playoff run. So Monte Morris and Michael Porter Jr. really do need to step it up, and I'd really like to see us, sign someone like Austin Rivers at the buyout market. But I guess that's kind of all I have to say, for this Jamal Murray, injury, and, kind of the stuff, how it really affects the Denver Nuggets, and what we can do to, okay, sorry about that, but as I was saying, kind of what we can do to, alleviate that, and, if we can possibly still make a deep playoff, well, who needs to step up if we want to make a deep playoff run. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot to me. Like the video if you enjoyed, as it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you guys are new, and enjoy the content on here so you don't miss out on any new videos like this. Plus, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I am out, you guys.